Thank you, Hannah. I have more to say about you and this incredibly meaningful honor, but I want to start with a story. It was Saturday of Rosh Hashanah last fall, and my beloved 12-year-old son and I were arriving home from his early soccer match. As we pulled into my driveway, I did the math. We had exactly 73 minutes to shower, throw on nice clothes, and be out the door to meet my mom, who's right there, at synagogue. Before the weekend was up, there'd be 2 more soccer games plus homework. I had reading to catch up on. I had board decks to review and remarks to prepare for an upcoming strategy retreat. I also knew that I desperately needed a run. And without that run, I'd never get the good night's sleep or the clarity of thought I'd need to prepare for the retreat. So I did what I often do. I tried to bend the time-space continuum. That is the rule that I break most often. I refuse to accept that there are only 24 hours in a day. My mother is laughing. I cajoled my awesome but very smelly child into the shower. I threw on my running clothes and I raced to the trail down the street. A mile in, I was so deep in thought that I never saw the rock in my path. But I did have one of those out-of-body moments where I watched myself going down and I thought, this is not going to end well. 2 weeks later, after the high holidays, after soccer, after homework, after board prep, after the 100 other things I did or lamented not doing, I was finally in enough pain to go to an orthopedist. Time and space I can push and flex, but elbows, it turns out, just break badly. And as I explained to the doctor what happened, he gave me a scolding look, you know the one, the raised eyebrow that asks, what could possibly be so important that it's worth pushing yourself so hard? And I looked at him and I thought to myself, all of it, every fucking bit. Now, it is cliche to say that we are trying to do it all. It is also fact. Why we are doing so is the much more interesting question. We push ourselves really hard because we care so deeply about what we're doing. It all matters. It matters to us. It matters to the people we care about. In some cases, it matters to the world. And when I think about all the remarks I've just heard and the scholarship winners and what brought these incredible women we're hearing from tonight, the path actually seems pretty clear. Work really hard on something really hard for long enough to see the results. And if you are lucky, do it with great people who push you really hard. Hannah and I did not coordinate, who push you really hard to keep getting better. Now, my colleague, where is she? My colleague, Hannah Dreier, who is here tonight, exemplifies this. Hannah Dreier won the Pulitzer Prize just a few weeks ago for her deeply reported series on the thousands of migrant children in this country who work horrifically dangerous jobs like repairing roofs and processing meat, often at the expense of having a childhood. Hannah traveled to 13 states over 2 years, part of it while she was pregnant, to find these kids and to learn and be able to tell us their heartbreaking stories. It was an extraordinary undertaking. It was an extraordinary undertaking, and Hannah's work inspired real reform. Her work is really hard, and it really matters. and it is the privilege of my lifetime to support the work of journalists like Hannah, who follow the truth wherever it leads. And I want to say that that work has never been more difficult or more necessary. Rigorous, independent journalism is undoubtedly the hardest thing we do at the New York Times. And building a sustainable business for that journalism is also hard, albeit in a different way. And that brings me back to Hannah Yang, that magical talent you just heard from, who leads big chunks of the Times' most important work. I haven't met a more inspiring leader, and I've learned from Hannah how to bring force and focus to the things that matter most to the Times, to our colleagues, and also to our families. And Hannah and I work alongside a whole team of leaders. And I want to say they're not all named Hannah or Hannah, I assure you. But they're the best in the world at what they do. And that team, our team, has been working together now long enough that we're getting to prove out a strategy that we've spent almost a decade building. And to Hannah's point, we push one another hard. And in doing so, we have come to know and to care about each other as much as we do the work. We have no sharp elbows here, just the occasional broken one. Thank you, New York Wiki, for this incredible honor. Thank you for all you do to support women who work hard on hard things. You are lighting a path for all of us. And most importantly, I want to say, especially to this table right here, thank you to the people who I love the most and the hardest. And that includes my son JJ and my mom, my family, and my other friends and loved ones who are like family. You are the reason I am trying to bend the time-space continuum. Thank you so much.